What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bugwood Diecast Racing. It's race day. I'm going to run those cars off that video I posted the other day. Before we run them, I'm going to put them on the table here and show you who chose what car. And the first one is this black Ferrari, and he was chosen by Mothman Diecast. He's new to my channel, by the way. Thank you, sir. And the next one is this Fastback Mustang, and he has been driven by Stock Option Diecast. He's also new to my channel. Appreciate that. And next up is this Chrysler Concept, or Dodge Concept. He's been driven by Robert Rothschild. And he's going to be taking on the Chevy Nomad. And he's been driven by Bad Dad Hobbies. Next up is the Wind Splitter. And the Wind Splitter has been driven by Chase Family Racing. And he's going to be taking on this 65 Mustang. And this car was unchosen. Excuse me. And the next one is this Wind Splitter. And he's being driven by Bavarian Diecast, Southern Diecast Challenge, and DXP Diecast Racing. And he's going to be taking on this old Packard. And this car was unchosen. Next up is the Nissan Custom. And he's being driven by the Diecast Shepherd. And he's going to be taking on this F40 Ferrari. And the Ferrari is being driven by Hammerhead Diecast Racing. Next up is this delivery Ford, I don't know, panel wagon, I guess you call it. Anyway, this car was unchosen. And he's going to be taking on this Mercedes. And this car was unchosen. Next up is this Camaro. And he was unchosen. And he's going to be taking on this GT Racer. And the GT Racer is going to be driven by Gregster Sr. Next up is this 80s Camaro, or Corvette, and he's been driven by Fortress Racing. And he's going to be taking on the Nitty Gritty Kitty, which is chosen or driven by Dennis Taylor. Anyway, I'm going to line them up, turn them loose, find us a winner. Okay, first up in lane one is the black Ferrari. He's being driven by Mothman Diecast. And the Fastback is being driven, he's in lane two, being driven by Stock Option Diecast. And here we go. Good race. An 1811 to 18 and 18. That would be for the Ferrari. Okay, let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapping. 1811 is the time to beat. Here we go. An 1810 to an 1813. Alrighty, the Fastback's gonna pull it out. He's moving on. Okay, next up in lane one is the Dodge Concept, and he's been driven by Robert Rothschild. And in lane four is the Chevy Nomad, and he's been driven by Bad Dad Hobbies. Here we go. An 1806 to an 1836. That would be for the Dodge Concept. Swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. An 1806 is time to beat. Here we go. An 1810 to an 1827. That would be for the Dodge Concept. He's moving on. Okay, next up in lane 1, we have the Street Beast. And he is being driven by Chase Family Racing. The 65 was unchosen. And here we go. Good race, but the Street Beast is going to pull it off with an 1803 to an 1813. Let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped, and 1803 is the time to beat. Here we go. And an 1812 to a 22, but the Street Beast had the better time in the first run, so he's moving on. Okay, next up in lane 1 is the Wind Splitter, and he has been driven by Bavarian Diecast, Southern Diecast Challenge, and DXP Diecast Racing, and the Packard was unchosen. Here we go. Okay, the Packard's going to take it to an 1802 to an 1812. Let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. The Wind Splitter would need to beat an 1802. Here we go. An 1800 to 27. Okay, the Packers are going to move on. Didn't expect that. Okay, next up in lane 1 is the F40 Ferrari, and he has been driven by Hammerhead Diecast. And in lane 2 is a Nissan Custom, and he is being driven by the Diecast Shepherd. Here we go. Boy, that was a good one there. 1805 to an 1809. That would be for the Nissan Custom. Swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped, and 1805 is time to beat. Here we go. An 1830 to an 1817. That would be for the Nissan Custom. Well, I expected a better performance out of the Ferrari, but it is what it is. Okay, next up in lane 1 is the Ford delivery vehicle, and lane 2 is a Mercedes. Neither one of these cars was chosen. Here we go. An 1809 to an 1891. I think that's a one and done there. We'll move on. Okay, next up in lane 1 is a Camaro. In the lane 2, he was unchosen. In lane 2 is the GT Racer, and he has been driven by Grixter Sr. Here we go. Good race, 1810 to 1817. That would be for the GT Racer. Swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. The Camaro will need to beat an 18 and 10. Here we go. $18.09 to an $18.13. Okay, the GT Racer is going to take it. Camaro did pretty good though, better than I expected. Okay, next up in lane 1 is the 80s Corvette, and he's been driven by Focus Racing. And in lane 2 is a Nitty Gritty Kitty. He's being driven by Dennis Taylor. Here we go. $18.09 to an $18.23. Okay, let's swap lanes. That would be for the Nitty Gritty Kitty. Okay, the lanes are swapped. An $18.09 is time to beat. And here we go. $18.01 to an $18.17. I think that's the fastest time this evening. Okay, let's swap lanes. $18.01. Okay, the lanes are swapped, and 1801 is the time to beat. Here we go. $18.08 to an $18.32. Okay, the Nitty Gritty Kitty is going to take that one. Okay, round one's in the books. It's on to round two. And first up is the Fastback and the Dodge Concept. And here we go. Well, first tile of the day here, 1805. Okay, swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. Here we go. And the Fastback's gonna take it with an 1801 to an 1814. The Fastback's moving on. Okay, next up is the Street Beast in lane one and the Packard in lane two. Here we go. Packard with an 1802 to an 1819. Okay, let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. An 1802 is the time for the Street Beast to win it. Here we go. An 1808 to an 1818. Okay, the Packard's moving on. Next up in lane one is the Nissan Custom and the Mercedes in lane two. And here we go. 1814 to an 1818. That would be for the Nissan Custom. Okay, let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. An 1814 is time to beat. Here we go. And 1807 to an 1811. Okay, that's going to be for the Mercedes. The Mercedes is moving on. Next up is the Nitty Gritty Kitty in lane one and the GT Racer in lane two. Here we go. Okay, the Nitty Gritty, you got a 1806 to an 1810. Swap lanes. Lanes are swapped, and 1806 is the time to beat. Here we go. An 1810 to an 1817. Okay. Nitty Gritty had the better time in the first run, so he's moving on. Okay, next up, the Mustangs in lane one and the Packard is in lane two. Here we go. Whoa, here. An 1802, dead even tie. Okay, let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. Here we go. And the Packard's going to take it with the fastest time today with a 17 and 97 to 1817. Okay, next up in lane one is the Mercedes. In lane two is the Nitty Gritty Kitty. Here we go. Mercedes with a 1804 to 1818. Okay, let's swap lanes. Lanes are swapped. An 1804 is the time to beat. Here we go. An 1810 to an 1817. That would be for the Nitty Gritty, but he had a better time the other time the Mercedes did, so he's moving on. Okay, these two guys are going to go head to head for the win. Neither one of these cars was chosen. But anyway, let's find out between these two guys. Gonna be third place. Okay, the Nitty Gritty's in one, the GT Racers in two. And here we go. Good race. 1909 for both of them. Let's swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped. They both had an 1809. Here we go. An 1805 to an 1816. Okay, that would be for the GT Racer. He's going to be your third place car. Okay, the Packard's in lane one and the Mercedes in lane two. Like I say, neither one of these cars were chosen. But I believe someone mentioned them in the comments, said something about them, that they were liked them or whatever. I can't remember. But anyway, let's see what happens. Here we go. 1805 and 1812. That would be for the Packard. The swap lanes. Okay, the lanes are swapped, and 1805 is the time to beat. All right, this is for the win. Here we go. 1807 and 1810, boys, a good race, but the Packers pulled it off. Okay, here's your winners, first, second, and third. Like I say, the first and second was unchosen, but the third car was chosen by Grexter Sr. So congratulations on that. Anyway, I'm gonna run these off camera here to see if either one of these three can get in my case. I appreciate everybody that participated in this. There were some surprises and some disappointments in this race, but hey, that's why you run them. You never know. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, as always, have fun die casting.